Welcome back down to our last few minutes here on the show. Josh Taylor, Paul Zeise joining me over in the 93.7 The Fan newsroom. Got a few minutes left. Let's talk to Jim in Stanton Heights. Jim, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Yes, I just want to know the real deal with Stephon Tuitt and our inside linebackers. Are you satisfied with them in their ability to stop the run?
Thanks for the call. The situation with Stephon Tuitt's pretty simple. I mean, it's not simple. It's not great either. Of course, he lost his brother over the offseason, who was murdered, which was a terrible situation. Plus, he had a little bit of an issue that they had to clean up with his knee, so there's that too, is the reason why he started the season on IR. As far as the linebackers go, I'm not worried about the linebackers' ability to stop the run. This defense got a lot better when you add Devin Bush into it, because remember the other 5 guys who played that position when he was hurt? They didn't do too much better either. So as far as him and Schobert go, I'm okay with that. I'm even more comfortable with them in coverage because I think they do a pretty good job in coverage, and Bush does a lot of that over the course of the season, Paul.
You know, I would like to see more from Bush. I mean, I feel like, when you trade up to the 10th pick to try and get a guy and you want to get a superstar, he's got to perform like a superstar. I mean, I think Bush has been okay. He's been just kind of okay. And you didn't draft him that high to be okay. I think that, I'd like to see more from him. I think Schobert's been fine. Robert Spillane has actually been okay when he's, against the run. It's in coverage where he struggles.
Right.
I kind of feel like they've got enough at that position. But Bush needs to become an impact player. And I think, he needs to make that transition now from just a good, athletic kind of player that makes some plays to, a guy who shows up like T.J. Watt, where, you watch film and I got to account for that guy every play.
You bring up a good point with Robert Spillane and how good he is against the run, but he has his warts in coverage. That might be part of the issue here because they got this collection of guys. A couple guys can do one thing well, a couple guys can do the other thing well, but here's the problem. If the other team gets wind of that, they can start making their decisions on the field based on who you put out there. So if they put Spillane out there, they can check to a pass and just throw right off the top of his head. Or if they bring in, a Joe Schobert and say, okay, we can check, run, and do that too. If they know what your weaknesses are, they can use that to your advantage. And I think that's maybe the problem when we're looking at this inside linebacker core. I mentioned it before. They had 6 different guys play this position because of injuries and whatever else have you. And it really exposed the lack of depth that they had at that position and different guys that could only do a few different things. In the meantime, we are out of time. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Thanks for your calls. Thanks for your tweets. As I say often, it is you guys that make this show great. Thanks again to Paul Zeise for joining us tonight. For Paul Zeise, for our producer, Steve Benko, and our crew here at Pittsburgh CW, I'm Josh Taylor. Thanks again for watching. Back here tomorrow night. See you later.